PG-13, this is G.I. Joe. Back in 1983, my introduction into G.I. Joe was this year. All of these cool figures. I got Snow Job, Doc, Airborne, Gung-Ho, whom I always spell wrong, Torpedo, Major Blood, and the enemy, the Cobra, his tank driver, and Destro, Chrome Dome, Destro, and I always forget that guy right there, Tripwire, tripping me up. Didn't want to leave you out there, Tripwire. So that was my introduction. I got the his tank, the Cobra Fang, and the base. Snow Job, oh yes, and the Polar Battle Bear, which is a snowmobile. Snow Job was pretty cool. However, this is not his rifle. But I do have his rifle around. He came with some skis. You know, you could clip them onto his backpack. And I thought that was kind of fun. He was fun. You can play with him outside with the skis. Doc came with a stretcher. Doc is the medical doctor for the team. Doc, beat me up, Scotty. Then we had Airborne. Airborne was the paratrooper for G.I. Joe. His colors, well, I don't know. Don't know who picked the colors on this one. But that color just does not go. So, yes, Airborne was cool. He had a backpack too. I got over here somewhere in the pile. There's a pile of backpacks over there. Now, Gung-Ho, he was the Marine. He's got a nice tattoo. He's got his tat. Yeah. Got his little grenade launching type weapon. It's a grenade launcher. Or is it a smoke grenade launcher? Or is it a grenade launcher? I don't know. I forget. I think it's a grenade launcher. But anyways, there's Torpedo. Torpedo was the diver. Torpedo mine. He came with a little backpack. Now, I did have two of these ones when I was a kid. I love Torpedo. He's fantastic. You could army build these divers as well. He did come with a spear gun. I'm not sure if it was that color though. I think it was black. Yes, it was a black spear gun, if I recall. Now, Major Blood, he had this arm that just didn't move. You know, they could have made that arm move. Robot arms do move, they're not just all one piece. And he also has his little weapon and a backpack. Now, unfortunately, my symbol for my his tank driver is, well, gone. It just wipes off. So that happens to the majority that get played with. He didn't come with any weapon, which is kind of stupid. You're driving a tank, but you don't have a weapon. And the you could put a sticker on here, but the actual stamped emblem is a lot bigger than a sticker. Now, Destro is awesome. He did have his own little weapon here. Little laser gun. I don't have his original backpack, I don't think. I might, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh yes, Destro had little rockets here. We used to pretend that they were heat-seeking missiles. They would follow your body signature. So when we were playing as a kid, we'd be like, Destro's shooting at it from his wrist. He might have lost his weapon, but he could still shoot you from the wrist. And he had a cool chrome head. I mean, that was just fantastic. That made him the Chrome Dome. Now, yes, granted, there was a lot of other figures for the year. I believe 17, but technically it's only 16 because they had this Major Blood as a mail away. So we had the Viper Pilot, which I did not have. I don't think. I don't even know if I did not get them. Kind of sucked. But then they had the Desert Grunt. I believe they had Duke, Airborne, CoverGirl, and yes, Wild Bill. Grand Slam with the silver pads. I believe that might have been it for the year, but we'll double check just to be sure. Yes. So there was only 7 vehicle drivers for that year. I like how the following year before that, the MMS, they counted as a vehicle driver when it's a tow behind. Well, he's a driver. So combined with 1.5 for 83, you had all these other ones. You know, all those other ones we were looking at. All these figures. Not that figure. So they had 33 figures for that year, and I liked how they would have the figures out for a year or two. No, not just 1 year, but you know, they'd have figures out for at least 2 years, maybe 3 if you're lucky. And that was like the norm back then. I mean, you look at how society is now. They have figures. You know, you might catch a few more generations the longer you leave your figure line out there. So that might be better, you know. But these business people don't think, oh, we'll just put it out there for a few months and it's gone. No, no more. Move on to the next. You know, you gotta have at least some of your figures trickling in every year for more people to get involved in the lines, but they just don't know how it works, right? Our business models project this, we gotta follow this. Well, they don't. You know, there's the X factor. The X factor is if you want to get more fans, you have to leave your product, you know, open and available to more generations. You know, 1 year it's there, and next year it's gone. So you can't find it. That goes for all toy lines. You know, people should understand the toy economics. The toynomics. Yes. That's the new word of the day. Yay. Now, Tripwire was pretty fun too. He was the mine guy. But then again, you know, the bomb expert. But his sculpt just lacked. I like this sculpt better. My custom. Even though his head doesn't fit as good. So I gave him a Steelers body with extra dupe pants. So, but anyways, that's my custom. Yes, and like I like the vintage, like, cause you can do this. Even though these gloves are from, I think, the twins, maybe. It actually makes the figure look cool. This guy looks cool. He's got the gloves on. You know, he looks like a Marine with no hat. But anyways, that's a cool custom. Now there is other versions of a lot of these figures, and some did get remade down the line. I think 97 and stuff. But again, like, there's some cool repaints, but Just for Fun is not a cool repaint. Now yes, we had Grunt, the glider pilot. We had Duke. He was the second in command. He's Duke. Then we have Ace. I did get later on, and I told you, got a lot of these figures in the garage sale. Now, CoverGirl, she did come with the Wolverine tank. I did not get that at Christmas. Disappointed. I did not get the Dragonfly until the Tiger Force version. But my friend had the original, and it did have the chin guns that moved up and down. If you want to call them chin guns. Whatever, the swivel cannon. And Grand Slam. I did not have that one as a kid until, well, I had the red padded one. Did not have that one. And we all know the rest of the gang. The original 16. Sorry, the original 13. Oh, the straight arm soldiers on the shelves. If anyone wants to come check out the base. Now, the base was a lot of fun, you know. I loved the base. It never gets enough time here. But the base, people customize these bases. I mean, as a kid, this was just friggin' awesome. I had 2 bases. You know, you can put them together, form one super base. Had a cool jail cell. You could throw your cobras in, or had your cobras trying to bust them out. However, my clip broke on my jail cell, so I had to MacGyver something up there. And yes, there's a computer console in there. We should have some light here. We're having technical difficulties. But again, you know, I should do a whole review on this base again, but apparently we can't. We're just out of time. And there was quite a few vehicles for that year. You know, you got some of these. You got APC. I told you I have a lot of his tanks. There's the Sky Strikers I have underneath here. Got a couple underneath here. And I did get that original one for that year. So anyways, there was a lot of vehicles. Oh, Wolverine. We could go here. Just check out YoJoe.com or 3D Joe's for some more visuals. The pack rats, the snake. I do have the snake here. Should the snake count as a figure? You know, I pulled out a fang there. Pulled out his tank, just so you could see. High-speed sentry vehicle, as it's Chad would tell you. Not a tank. Oh, my missiles seem to be off of my polar battle there. I have to go find my missiles. I've lost my missiles. Now we have the jump. I've got 2 jumps here. And the gliders I do not have. Anyone wants to donate some gliders, feel free. Please do. Now, again, I have the twin battle guns underneath here. You know, I think that's it for the vehicles and tow behinds. So there was 1 base and a couple gliders. I don't know how well that'll come in. There's the Falcon and the Viper. And I do have the carrying case. And the, you know, it never really gets mentioned as much, the weapons accessory packs, which I did a whole video on that. You know, people don't go and check out my old videos, which is kind of strange. You just load a video and it only gets viewed. Never. It gets never viewed again. It's the algorithms that really screw up these channels. You got 350 videos or more, and you know, they just don't show them all. But anyways, we have Snake Eyes, we have Stalker, Rock and Roll, Zap, Grunt, Laser Pants, no, Flash, and then we have Clutch, Stealer, and Grand Slam. Then we have Short Fuse. Didn't I? Clutch again. Hawk, Breaker, Scarlet, and we had the Cobra Soldier and the Cobra Commander. Short Fuse again. Grand Slam. So I think we've named them all. People do like the Stalker. I used the Tester's paint. Comes in a little thing. It's the Tester's paint, but it's from China, so that might be why it's discontinued in Canada. And don't forget, we had the Cobra Soldier. Now there is a 2000 version of, it's called Rip It, as opposed to, the 2000 version looks fantastic, as opposed to the original. So anyways, I hope you love your figures. And you know, what year was your collecting experience? When did that start? You know, did this take off with you? Because I had a lot of Star Wars, and as soon as I got these figures, you know, I still collected my Star Wars, but then after Return of the Jedi, that was it. You know, the Joes and the Cobras took over. But I still played with all of it together. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hell yeah! Wolverines! Anyways, that's all the time we have for now, folks. Tune in next time.